Okay, folks, this is the last tutorial in our Nurbs menu. We are going to look at the sweeps Nurbs today and talk a little bit about how that functions. So sweeps Nurbs, if you look at it, it looks kind of like a tube or a pipe. That's exactly the type of thing you can make. What I like to do for this is think about, you could draw a path and then also create a shape to extrude along the path. So if I'm in the top view and I just grab my pen tool, I can click and drag and make an interesting path for a pipe or a hose or something like that. All right, so there's the path that I'm going to create. And I'm also going to bring in a shape to extrude along that. In this case, I'll just use a circle, and I will orient the circle object along the XY. And I'm going to scale this down maybe like 20. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so then you take the path and put it into the sweep, and then you take the shape and put it into the sweep, and you should have a tube-like structure. Now, if you put it in out of order, it's totally fine. Look at what happens when it's not in the correct order of hierarchy, right? It tries to extrude that. So if you just simply switch them, if it looks funny, try switching the order in the object manager. Now, the great thing about sweep is that there are some further functions that you can adjust, including the end scale, which is really helpful. So if you wanted to make this scale really big or really small, you could adjust that accordingly, right? So if I wanted to have this circle, we could even ramp it up a little bit, increase the depth of the circle. You can see a dramatic shift from the start of that to the end of that, which is great. You can also adjust the end growth. So this will go along that sort of path. So when we get into animation, this is cool because you can actually animate this growth. Imagine writing maybe your name in script and having the sweeps sort of follow that to make it look like it's being drawn or formed. So that's really great. And then if we go in quickly to another way of using this, let me just show that. So let's just say I want to bring in a shape like a rectangle, and let's just orient it along the XZ, and then bring in another shape, something more dimensional, maybe like the flower, let's say. And I'm going to scale that down a lot. There we go. And then, oh, maybe I'll make it, have a little less. There we go. Okay, so we'll take that and put that into the sweeps. Let's take a look what happens. So flower goes in. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong configuration. Flower goes in the sweep, rectangle goes in the sweep, wrong orientation, switch them around, and we get this really cool frame, right? That's really great. And one thing I wanted to note about this is you can adjust the rotation, which can be interesting in some cases. So if I rotate this a little bit, you'll see this start to undulate a little bit, right? So at 213% rotation, we get this crisscross of form, which creates a really complex, interesting object. So that can be really useful, but again, making those dimensional sort of forms can be really effective using the sweep. And of course, what I recommend in any case is to play around with the different configurations in the attribute manager. Just push some buttons, see what happens. So that's the sweep Nurbs, really great for making tubes and hoses and tentacles and all kinds of things that you could follow a spline shape, and also can create really intricate, interesting forms like this, dimensional, structural kind of things as well. All right, that's it for the sweeps Nurbs and ends our conclusion of the Nurbs menu for modeling.